Look, a different room of my house. Awesome. All right. Anyhow, so yesterday was a good day. There's so many pieces that had to get lined up for that to happen. This is not a one-person elimination. The whole it takes a village to raise a child, like that's how I felt about the Lee eviction yesterday. If I wouldn't have got the information from everyone that gave me info, I had to work closely with Gwen on using the veto. I had to assure Justin and Crystal that they weren't the target. I had to scramble to get the votes. Like, this took everyone to do. I'm not taking sole responsibility for. I'm making breakfast. Ignore that. Ignore the microwave that's about to go off too. But yeah, that was pretty big.
All right, so it's day 9, and there are 13 people in the game. Davey is HOH. He has nominated Adam and Macy. Davey has asked for the vote to be to evict Macy. That is where everyone is leaning. That is what Lee has said publicly to his alliance, that's what he wanted to do. That is the plan. That alliance I talked about was this 6 right here, Reckless Ops. Dan, Crystal, Chandler, Justin, Blake, and Lee. I'm in that group. It has kind of dominated the game so far, but I am very wary of 3 people in the group, Chandler, Lee, and Blake. I don't trust them. I am very close with Dan and Gwen. We have Notorious RBG and are running the game. I'm also very close with Crystal and Anthony. We have Emerald. We are not as talkative, but we are doing good things as well. This vote flip to evict Adam over Macy would not have happened if on day 9 I didn't reach out to Dan and say, hey, I think we need to get a step ahead of Reckless Ops here and Lee and make a move before he does. And that move is to get rid of Adam, who is super tight with Gwen, Crystal, Anthony, not to mention people like Mark and Chris and Davey. He's not very tight with me and Dan. Adam staying is not good for our game. Macy is not a threat to anyone, is a loyal, quiet number that can be picked up. So, how do we go about making this happen? It has to happen by convincing Crystal, Anthony, and Gwen that they should want to vote out Adam, something they do not want to do. And the only way to convince them that they should want to vote out Adam is to convince them that Macy is rock solid in their corner. So I got Anthony to talk to Macy, and she said, hey, guess what? My closest allies are Gwen and Dan and K-Pow. And from there, it was super easy. By pulling a few different strings, we were able to convince Macy that her best move was to form a new 6 that would be ride or die to the end, and that is Smiley. Macy created that group with, I'm just gonna remove these people and bring Macy over. Macy created that group with me, Justin, Dan, Crystal, Gwen, and Anthony. Now, we knew that this vote flip was going to happen. We also knew that we could not be out in front of the vote flip. So, Lee gets to be the one who publicly organizes the vote flip, takes all the blame for it happening, and is set up to be the next person to be sent home. So, while this group organized the vote flip, Lee thinks he is the one organizing the vote flip and takes the fall for it. And this 6 is rock solid, tight in the game. And within that group, I have a super solid 3 of me, Dan, and Gwen that is running the game. I also have a pretty solid 3 of me, Crystal, and Anthony that is pretty tight. My goal would obviously be something like getting down to 5 or 6 with this group and seeing how things play out.
What's up, you guys? It's jury time, baby. And your boy made it. And so I think it's just important to just take a step back and just say, how did I get here? What did I do to get to this spot? And what am I going to be doing to get to the end? Because, like, I'm not playing to go out to get jury. Jury doesn't make me happy. Second place doesn't make me happy. Winning makes me happy. So it's important to make winning moves because that's what makes you happy. I realized once I stepped in this game that it's about survival. It's about just getting ahead. And I realized as I looked around, there were just so many people that were hungry and scared and just doing whatever it took to stay alive. And that meant getting power and trying to kind of force people to do certain things and bend them to your will. That's a move. For me, I realized if I'm in power, which happened to me week 2, I could, again, try and alienate people and really force my will. Or I could build trust and let people know that I have their back. I mean, hey, that paid off this week. Chris was HOH. He had a tough job. He could have nominated anybody, particularly me, since I nominated him all the way back in week 2, but he didn't. I wasn't his first nom. It wasn't his second nom. It wasn't even his re-nom. I think that speaks highly of what I'm trying to accomplish here. I put up Mark, and he says he wants to go to the end with me. Everyone here is competing their hardest for these competitions. Me? I'm throwing them. I realize I can use all the time in the world dedicating to focus in on how to do X, Y, or Z, or I can continue to just slide into people's DMs, make them feel good about me, say like, hey, if I'm working hard for this HOH, if I win, you're good with me, and they're saying it right back. But I don't need them. I have enough strong things going on. What is important to me, though, is, again, surviving and building an orchestra. What I mean by that, you have people, when you look at an orchestra, you have people kind of in the back that are making a lot of noise. You have your percussion, your drums. Those are people like a Blake or a Lee that are just doing whatever it takes and saying a lot of things to a lot of people. And those are the loud ones. You have your strings, like your Macy's and K-Pows and Marks, that are just willing to just strum along and do whatever it takes just as long as they stay another day. I don't know, you have your first chairs like Gwen and Davey, who I think are actively dictating the path forward. But like, that's about it. You have, a conductor and Justin. Justin is clearly drawing lines, making moves, and I think people see it. We just had Touchy Subjects, and he was nominated as the person who was really running the game. Is that my cat? There's a cat. He's not a conductor, but that's fine. So Justin is the conductor, really leading the charge. Me, though, the way I see it, I'm the composer. I'm writing the song that everyone is jamming to, and it's up to me to make sure that every person is doing what they need to do to stay in sync. And that means working with different people at different times, jumping from one side to the next to make sure that everyone feels as though, hey, I'm on their team. So you can have a conductor, you can have your first chairs, your strings, your percussion, but if you don't have someone who's really writing the song, it's going to sound garbage. So as I look to this jury phase, I am not the HOH here. I threw last night's competition. I did not want that. I don't think I want the next one. And then I don't want the next one either. I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see a double elimination at, final 9 to get us to 7. No, it might be, there's going to be a double elimination. I don't know the numbers. And that's the one I want. I want to be in charge there. So I'm going to be very deliberate about when I'm striking. But in the meantime, I'm going to just keep chipping. Keep working on people, make people feel good, make feel that I can be trusted. And if I can do that, we can take this. I feel there's a path. There's a story to tell, and I want to be there to tell it. Let's go.
Oh, Lee. It was lovely getting to know you during this game. I would just ignore you and let you go to pre-jury, but I do want to count the ways and why I had reasons to make sure you went home this week. Number one, numerous times people came and told me that you were thinking about renominating me to backdoor me because I didn't have an opportunity to campaign because I was coaching flag football, or you promised me safety as I promised you safety and Macy because we were in a 3-way tie for the 10-minute blindfold. And then you asked Macy if she would be a pawn immediately. And before you won HOH, you reached out to me and said, hey, I want to work with you on noms. Then you won the HOH, and then you didn't talk to me about the noms. So you kind of exposed yourself there again. So I knew you were playing a snake game. So what better way to play with a snake in the game is to keep it nice and close inside this little basket that I've created for you. So I told you things like, hey man, everything you told me came true. I don't know what Ashley's talking about. You're good in my book. I always could trust you, and no worries on my end. And after I told you things like that time and time again, you threw my name around to try to get me nominated. And I heard it from numerous people that kept you close and used you as a mechanism to get further in this game. So, but the key thing here is, on your double, you wasted it by getting rid of Will and Andrew. Like, that was just amazing. That was like my number 2 and maybe number 3 or 4 people that I would have got out if I would have got the double. So the HOH with the double eviction. So thank you for not harming my game then. Yes, you did orchestrate. Well, let me back up. You didn't orchestrate it. You were part of it. Other people took advantage of you and pinned it on you. The flip for Adam, and I was, not too excited about that. I was upset, but then when you created the end game and included me in it, and it was the first time you included me in any type of alliance with you, which I really didn't want to be in. And then immediately people like Dan and Macy were all on the side, and Gwen were in the side chats like, what the hell is this? And we're all just like, just go along with it. But when I told you while you begged for my vote that I had reasons to not keep you, that I heard information, and then that I respect you as a person, and it was fun playing with you, and then you responded, well, I don't respect your game, LOL. So my response to you was, oh, never mind, I changed my mind, I'll vote to keep you, I'll support to keep you. And your response was, wait, really? And then I left it alone.
Howdy, y'all. So, this is going to be a 5-question confessional as requested by production. But I'm going to try to spill as much tea as I can. It is now the end of a round, and Lee got backdoored. What are my thoughts on that? LOL, good. He claimed to be a villain, and a villain he was. I mean, to essentially flip and tell everybody oh my gosh, make sure you get out Adam, so that way Macy can go for Mark. Well, Macy staying also means that Macy's gonna go for me too. So with that move, it pretty much solidified nobody really has my back. And so I'm glad that Lee got backdoored, because I don't really trust him. And the lights are doing some weird shit, whatever. But based on who's in the house, and yay for jury, people that I trust explicitly, I trust Mark, I trust Chandler, I trust Chris, I even trust Anthony. I think Anthony has become someone who like was like an eager beaver at the beginning and has like put himself in a really good position where he can get a lot of information, but also like has garnered a lot of trust. He's in 2 big alliances. He's in the Green Bus Alliance, and he's also in the Straight Shooters Alliance, which is Crispy, myself, Mark, Chandler, and him. People that I don't really trust, I don't really trust K-Pow, I don't trust Macy, and this is not like a I don't trust women thing. This is there hasn't really been a lot of talk, and the only time that they do talk to me is if, you know, I nom them, which was Macy. Like, I really didn't think that she was gonna message me and be like, is the reason why you nommed me because like I don't talk to you? And I was like, yes, yes. And K-Pow was like, oh, like, what are you thinking about the POV? And I was like, honestly, like, I would probably save Justin because I don't think that people will eliminate you, especially since you obviously have friends, and, like, Gwen saving you, like, just solidified that fact. But I like Gwen, I like Anthony, but that's pretty much, what I'm thinking about the rest of the cast. Touchy subjects. I was told that I was trustworthy and people would love to be in a house with me. Fucking duh. I'm fun. It also revealed that Crispy is an all-star and he has control of the game, but not as much as Justin, and people want to backdoor Crispy. I think Justin being the HOH allows him to just nominate like Blake, who I don't understand why he did this, but he was like, for everybody that says that that Lee and I have a final 2, we don't, but I'm still voting for you, Justin. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. And so Justin being the HOH means that he's probably gonna nominate Blake, and he's probably gonna nominate Crispy just as like a ha, your turn. But Crispy being a nominee means that he could potentially take himself off the block. I just don't know who he would put as a replacement nom. And now that we're in jury, I think we are in uncharted territory, and people are gonna start swinging and stabbing and telling lots of lies. But I really hope that Macy and Blake go soon, not because I don't like them, but because they don't really do anything for my game, and that's 2 people, not me, that I would like to see on the jury. But I'm trying to work a good relationship between both of them, because, you know, I haven't really talked to Macy, and I feel bad because people said that she was the worst or not an all-star. She's really funny, she's just a little low-key. And Blake, we had a conversation, he's like, yeah, people told me like I'm unpleasant, people don't want to be in the house with me, and I was like, Blake, are you fazed by this? And he goes, no. I did a lot of like self-reflection, and I was like, okay. All right. So, you know, lots of really great things happened this round. I'm happy that I got a little bit of vindication for Adam. I'm sad that he's not here in jury with us because he's just missed, and I had to do it for my game, and hopefully it like pays off. So cheers to that.
But yesterday Lee went home. He was against Justin, right? Yeah, I think so. I was kind of bummed about that because Lee was like the secret, not a secret. He was kind of a villain type in the game. He definitely would have kept a bigger target around longer. But he also would have been harder to beat the longer that he stayed, so bittersweet, I don't know. I really liked Lee. He was cool. We played this HOH last night, and we had to like say who was all-star of the house, who's this of the house, who's that of the house, who did you not think was this of the house. And I came to the realization that all these people suck. I'm just kidding, but I got voted, I think, like most likely to not win, and who does not deserve to be an all-star. Thanks, everyone. And it was high percentages too. Like, one was like 56 and one was 40 something. And so in the 6-person alliance that I made, one of those hoes had to have voted me that. So it's fine. My guard's up. Also, it just gives me a little motivation to prove all of them wrong. I did call them a bad name in the living room. I was like, I probably shouldn't be this harsh, but I actually really didn't care that much. Everybody, I feel like people are playing like decently safe right now. Justin's trying to probably get Chris out. I would assume that would be his goal, which is probably smart. I feel like Chris is more difficult to beat, but I'm starting to stress out about this 6-person alliance because it's dwindling. Numbers are dwindling down, and something's got to be done. I think that Gwen and K-Pow are going to be hard to beat. I like this all-girl thing. I really do, and I want it to last till the end. But if I'm sitting there against Gwen at the end and it's up to the jury, they're going to vote for her. Because I'm not done being messy yet. So they're really going to vote for her. It can't be her. Okay, my Mexican's here. I got to go. Talk to y'all later.
All right, so let me back up a little bit so I could talk about my position in the house. So in the beginning, I grew close to K-Pow and Justin, and we were pretty tight, and still are. I would probably consider Justin my number one in this game, just because of longevity and trust. But you know, lines were very blurred in the early stages of this game until Adam was voted to be evicted. So, yes, I did push back a little bit. Then I had to feel out if Macy was really gonna be a viable keep when it comes to what the other side of the house was trying to push. And then I realized I didn't have the votes to keep Adam. So because of that, I had to manage the people that were on the other side, on the Adam side of the vote, so I told Adam what was going on. A lot of people didn't, because that's just how I'm going to play. And I told Blake, I told Davey, I told Chandler. Chandler also felt the same way. I didn't get to talk to Crispy, but that's because we weren't really talking about that. Like, Crispy was blindsided. But I did my management once I found out the news, that I told the people that I thought would be most upset, oh my gosh, did you hear this? And, you know, I'm not going to downplay it. It wasn't my ideal strategy going into that week or that day. But it did cause a divide within the house. So here I am, supposed to be hanging out with Smiley, which was created after Macy was safe, and she was thankful and thanking us for saving her. And then the other side of the house, which is now the straight shooters, are like, oh no, we got to figure out what's going on because we weren't involved. So now I'm in this like middle tier between the two groups, and it's not how I envisioned playing this. Yeah, it's great to have friends everywhere, and alignments and alliances, but now I can't take a shot. I'm pretty confident that I could have at least tied the last night's HOH, but I threw it like severely. Josh can probably attest to that by looking at my answers. But yeah, I am in a position now that if I win HOH, I show my cards, and that's a concern. Strategically, though, the alignment has to be with Smiley.
What's up, house guests? Yesterday was a very wild ride, going from being on the block to winning HOH in the span of a few hours, and I fully admit to having a couple too many celebratory beers afterwards, especially for it being a Monday night, so I am dragging today, and therefore we'll keep this really short and to the point. I just don't think it makes any sense for my game to do anything other than nominate the player who publicly stated he was voting against me yesterday, and the player who put me in that position in the first place
and jeopardize my game by putting me on the block. So I will be nominating Chris and Blake, and I wish you both luck in the veto.
Hey guys, the results of today's Power of Veto competition are in. In the background, you hear my wife filling up her water bottle, if you're wondering what that noise is, because we're about to go to the gym, because couples who work out together work out. Get it? Okay. Winning today's Power Veto decision and things due by 8 o'clock. Congratulations with 9 correct answers. It was a quiz of 15 questions, all of quotes from the Big Brother house. I had to name who said them out of multiple choice options. Getting 9 correct. Congratulations. Crispy, you have won the Power of Veto.
Okay, so can we talk about how Chris should have been backdoored this round? Like, I get like the oh, I want to respect you, giving you a chance to play in the veto, but it's like, obviously Chris is going to win. And that makes me kind of think that, you know, that makes me kind of question Justin a little bit, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to say any of this to anybody inside of the game because I don't need it getting back to anybody, like, from their perspective. Like, I'm super cool with all this. But why not backdoor Chris? Like, if you really wanted Chris to go home, like, who cares about, like, respecting him in terms of, like, not, like, I mean, obviously respect him is, like, in terms of a person. Like, I respect all the people in this game in terms of a person. But in terms of, like, not backdooring somebody that clearly needs to go, like, to me, that's a red flag. Like, he had a really good shot of winning this veto. For all I knew, Justin threw the veto. I don't know. So that's just kind of, it's on my radar. I think that it's kind of tricky because I think that Justin does have a lot of connections with people from outside of the game. Blake kind of gave me a heads up on it, and now that I'm kind of like thinking about it, it's like, why would he? Like, it's almost like he was trying to protect Chris by putting him up initially while doing what our alliance wanted him to do. So, I got my eyes on you. But like I was saying, it's kind of like a weird thing, 'cause it's like people have relationships with him from outside of the game. So I think they might have that loyalty to him. But I also think that they know that he's a big threat in this game. So I think that keeping him in the game for right now is still good for my game. And like, I'm still like loyal to RBG. I still think that he is ultimately loyal to RBG. But I got my eyes on you, Justin.
My cat wanted to be in the video. Welcome to the veto meeting. I'm going to go ahead and use the veto on myself. So, Justin, go ahead and renom, I guess. Good luck, everyone. My cat is adorable. I'm done now.
I am choosing to nominate someone that I have a good relationship with, but just don't know where his head is at in the game. And sadly, I will be nominating Chandler.
All right, so I wanted to talk this out before I vote, because it's important to think out loud sometimes and let people know what's up. Okay, so the final nominees are Blake and Chandler. Blake has been very good about talking to me throughout the game, and I feel like he's been more of a personal ally to me than Chandler. What sucks, though, is even though Chandler is not really an ally, allies of mine are allies of his. So therefore, Chandler is an ally of mine. That's such an insane thing to say. What else? Also, Chandler's being a little bit erratic in a way that I don't fully appreciate. I understand the erraticism, the fucking craziness of Blake, compared to what is happening to Chandler. Will this divide the house? Probably. Will I lose some allies? Probably. But I like to think I'm a good, smart player. And if I say that this is what's best for my game, in a way of I don't think that Chandler or Blake is good for my game going forward, then I can mend fences. Or I have to start winning comps. Or both, because, I don't want to go towards the end without a resume. I don't have a fucking resume right now. My resume right now is I'm under the radar, which is fucking insane to me. Not under the radar. This is tough. it's definitely come down to who do I need more in my game versus who I don't need in my game, and how can my game go forward into the single digits. At this point, I have actually told both of them that I am voting to keep them. Like, I told Blake I'm voting to keep you. I told Chandler I'm voting to keep you. But also, if I vote out Chandler, it'll help me with the Green Bust Alliance, which is an alliance that can be very strong. And it'll keep Dan. I think I have more allies okay if I vote out Chandler. We'll figure it out when I send my vote in.
I hate all these people, and I'm voting to evict Blake. Fucking scared people, I swear to God.
I'm so sorry. I vote to evict Chandler. I'm sorry.
What's up, you guys? I vote to evict Chandler.
With heavy heart and so much respect, I sadly vote to evict Chandler.
Hi, Josh. You look lovely this evening. Just absolutely ravishing. I don't really know any other adjectives anyway. I sadly vote to evict Chandler Bond. Or Chandler. Miss Chandler Bond. You know friends? That's a friend.
Meow. We're playing with a bunch of scaredy cats. I vote to evict Blake.
I sadly vote to evict Chandler.
This is not fun. This feels like a punch in the gut for me, as it probably does for you. But I sadly vote to evict Chandler.
Hey guys, the votes are in. Once I reveal the vote, the evicted house guests will have just a few minutes to say their goodbyes and head on over to the jury house. You are the first member of the Big Brother Hometowns 11 jury. By a vote of 6-2, Blake, you are safe. Chandler, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
All right, so y'all got me out. Congratulations. Good job. Good for you. Woohoo. Just so proud of you all for actually making a good move for your game. Except for some of you did not. We've got some people in here, and I'm not going to say this person's name because I have trusted them throughout this game, and I worked pretty well with them, but I just want to send them a message. You're playing scared. You know who you are. You're playing for 8th place instead of actually trying to win this game. Start making moves or you will receive no votes at the end. I'm saying this trying to help you. To other people, we've got a couple of snakes in this game that are liars. And again, this is all game, not talking personal. I think all of you are great outside of this game, want to be friends with you. But inside this game, Justin and K-Pal, you are completely full of it, okay? Like, y'all told me last night that I was good because I pushed a backdoor lead to save you. Well, then look what happens today. Justin turns around and puts me up. K-Pal evicts me. She also did the same thing to Adam, just as a heads up to everybody. Gwen, just be honest with me that you were never going to save me. I know if I had the votes, you were still not going to save me. So, just be honest about it, okay? Like, come on, just stop lying. I do actually want to say thank you to Dan for being the one person that was actually upfront and genuine with me and told me, you know, I'm voting you out. I understand that. He told me early. I get it. Macy, you just don't talk to me. I don't really see what you're doing in this game. You keep saying that you want to prove yourself. Well, maybe actually try to have a conversation with me every time I try to talk to you. Didn't go anywhere. Okay, so up that social game or else you don't really stand a chance at the end either. Blake, no hard feelings. I get you had to do what you had to do. But everybody else know that Blake is going to come and throw you under the bus as well. It's just what it's going to be. On the other hand, I just want to say thank you to those of you that were honest with me. Very few of you. I get the lion's part of the game, but remember I am going to the jury, and it makes no sense to lie to me as I'm going out of the house. Lies before that can completely get it to an extent because we all tell them in this game. But when I'm going out of the house, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to lie to me. When you're going to put me on the block, it doesn't make a lot of sense to lie to me about it because it's going to become public. Like, you're obviously putting me on the block publicly. Just doesn't make sense. So, anyways, what I want to say is, to a certain individual, stop playing scared, okay? Nobody's going to respect that at the end. Go for the win. I want you to do well in this game. Please, start playing hard and go for the win. To everybody else, don't trust Justin, K-Pal, or Gwen. This is something that Adam told me when he left the house. He just didn't want to make it public, but he told me from that day that Gwen and K-Pal could not be trusted. I thought I could trust them. Obviously could not. So again, no hard feelings. This is all game. Can't wait to be friends with all of you afterwards. I'm sure we're going to have many laughs about this. Good luck, and please play hard. I really want to be entertained with the little snippets I'm getting in jury. And can't wait to welcome y'all there, because I am now the king of the jury house. See y'all when you get there. Bye.
All right, HOH reign is over. Chandler is out. It was not a flawless HOH, but I did break up the most dangerous pair in this game, which is Chris, Davey, and Chandler, and I think it needed to be done. So on to the next one. Let's hope we get a win. I don't really know if I'm going to be a target after this. I might be, though.